Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant. Musashido, the man who financed the project.
You mean this was all just revenge?
Kind of like a setup to get them all back, I guess, but I'm trying to figure out, how did Musashido die?
Santa is Zero. He's getting revenge for the death of his sister.
Yeah, if we put those pieces together, you can easily see that connection.
That's why he killed them.
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone.
He made them kill themselves, virtually. He didn't do a damn
If
thing
I'm
against
right,
them.
then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it? I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
Otherwise known as
The person who
Ace.
planned the nonary project.
In other words, Ace.
What?
Oh shit, what time is it? In that the boat's going down. Fuck, I forgot about that. On a side note, hey guys, Tofuru here. Welcome back to some more Zero Escape, and let's figure out what's going on. I'm sorry, just gotta interject that in there sometimes.
What the hell's going on here?
It must be 6 a.m. Our time is up.
Is it really 6 a.m. already?
Come on, we need to get out of here.
How?
We need the key card, right? Oh, it opened.
I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go.
Alright, so new material's been added. And we have key card 0. So we are definitely not supposed to come back here then. Because this is Zero's key card. Alright, let's open this thing. Whew, and let's get out of here. Now we have the key for the end of the hallway as well, so let's steamroll through this one. Yeah, we definitely don't have time to lose here. Let's get out of here. To think that was the end of the puzzle was that we had to do that last interaction, but in my head the puzzle was already completed. Okay.
I think the shaking stopped.
The shaking stopped. Oh. Yeah, what does that
It would
mean?
seem so, but we are yet to be out of danger.
You're right. Let's hurry.
This exit needs the Uranus card too. Hey, Junpei.
Yeah, I know. All right, it's open. Let's
Oh,
go.
so we still had the Uranus card. We didn't need it until we had to leave. Okay. Now we should go back upstairs and down
Neptune
the hall,
key,
right?
Let's see if you work. Yes.
Yeah, let's.
I think
Well,
it
obviously
unlocked.
it's gonna work. Oh, so this is the other
incinerator.
side of the incinerator. Dang nabbit.
So this
There
is
we
the
go.
incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door.
Yeah, right here.
Pull that and the door should open.
Got it.
Where's everybody else then? If we're here at the incinerator, where's the other group of 9? The other issue I have is that if Santa was Zero,
Let's go.
why would he pull a gun out on his sister and pull her through the door along with Ace? I don't know, it seems very odd. A lot of pieces in play here. Maybe he is Zero, but just a lot of weird things to take into consideration.
What the hell is going on? What's wrong?
Did
Are you
Hongo
okay?
kill them?
Jumpy, you came to get me.
Of course, June. When
Of
wouldn't
course
we
I
do
did.
that?
I made a promise.
I'm so glad you're here. So glad.
Hey, what happened to you?
I forget if she's like gonna pass out or die down here.
Fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though.
Are you sure?
Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. You shouldn't worry about me.
You know, June, I will worry a bit, because I think last time you just passed out, you just died on me, so I'm not so sure it's okay to leave you behind.
Santa,
is it?
Yeah, what I really
Where's
want to know
the
is
gun?
what happened to
You hide it
him.
somewhere?
I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun.
They? Oh, Lotus and Ace.
Who took it?
What? Isn't that obvious?
I took the gun.
Yep, there he is.
Ace.
Well, at least I guess we're back in this situation again.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals? You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that.
Why are you at a disadvantage? You have a freaking
You
gun
know
in your
me,
hands.
but I don't know you.
Oh.
Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
I'd say I have an understanding, I guess. I mean, I don't think you're suffering. I think you're freaking out because you're in the game you created long ago.
The pain of prosopagnosia, right?
Oh, you mean, wait, is that really I guess it is a suffering thing. You can't recognize someone's face.
Another irritating insect. And how do you know that?
Good question.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go. First is 1. Give me your hand. 8. And with this, 9.
So he has been holding the 9 all along.
The ninth man. Kubota's bracelet.
I believe I've won this game. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is.
Which is why I don't think Santa's Zero.
What the hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait! What? Why isn't it opening?
Wait, does that activate, or does it need everyone's numbers to get through?
One more time. Now open! No! What is this? Why?
That's
Digital
clever.
root should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening? Now! Ah! No!
Just hearing that sucker punch.
Oh, that was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven.
Who has the
Don't
gun?
mention it. Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat. 9 years ago? Then you must be... Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass.
Well, he doesn't know your face. For you to did you? Oh, I guess they don't know that, but like, he doesn't recognize faces. No wonder you didn't know that. Most of the people here were 1, in the test he conducted 9 years ago, or 2, related to it in some sort of fashion.
Ace.
I still don't get why Lotus has to be here though. If she's the mother of the 2 girls that were in here, unless like she's directly related to the
You
offspring.
killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
Oh, right. You don't know yet. All right. We'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota.
Wow, just let's fuck with Ace's mind real quick. Gosh, Junpei became such a badass in the middle of this game.
You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital root, which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2.
Okay.
You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3.
So he's had the 9 bracelet all along. But then it doesn't make sense with the Nijisaki death because Clover finds the bracelet on him. Or did she go back to find it? I forget if it's the red path that she looked for it and then he catches her in the act of getting it. Yeah, that's what it was. He caught her in the act of trying to find it. And that's when she gets stabbed, but she has the letter in her hand that reveals who Ace is. And okay, now it makes sense.
Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank?
Now, I wonder if this is Junpei from both paths coming together, or is this just Junpei in general, like, understanding?
You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen.
Okay.
That was why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki?
The fact that he, like,
Why?
didn't... Oh, man.
How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me.
So he got rid of him to, I guess, get
But
rid
if
of
that's
someone who knew
true,
him.
why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
And you mean to say... Snake is still alive?
I love how that was his entire plan, was to get rid of Snake. But when he doesn't even think about how he literally murdered his other business partner. Fuck. Man, this is cool. It's turning super detective-y here.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death.
Yeah, this is the one I don't understand. How did Musashido
When
get
Clover
killed
and
by
I were
him?
investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
I handed it to you, and you left the room. You had been in charge of the nonary project. Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle.
Oh, so you're saying he solved the puzzle, killed Musashido, and then came back into our room resetting the puzzle?
Which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest.
Jeez.
One blow was all it took. And then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest? You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote.
Well, I guess you're
That
gonna reveal
wasn't
that
really
now.
what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate. But what made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace, Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it. But why?
Because of this.
What's with the paper?
What was he gonna
Just
reveal?
read it.
Let's see. Number 1, there are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past.
So what? If you killed everybody, you could confess your sins of
I've
9 years
prepared
past?
a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters.
Oh, so if he got there, or anybody got there, they could confess to Zero or Musashido, and then you could get out.
Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. Zero.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan.
But then I found it, huh?
Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters.
Yeah, you didn't know who was going to be the witness. You just killed him because you, I guess, wanted to stop the second option of getting
I
off
asked
the boat.
him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him.
So they're just taken, or...
But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was.
But why?
I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem.
What, to kill them all and exact revenge in Zero's place? I mean, sure, I guess, but... if they all repented, they would have all gotten
I
out.
was little more than a puppet, in many ways.
Then again, like he would ever rat himself out and risk losing his entire medical
Everywhere
empire.
I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap.
Well, you wanted to keep your secret keep your secret quiet as long as you
But
could.
yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Okay. So then who's Zero? Is it actually Santa then?
By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago.
What, Junpei? Are you gonna lean heavily on that Akane or Connie was killed and that's like the motivation for this whole thing?
That's why this nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it.
It's so funny to see everyone just get
Never
called
thought I'd
out.
be back in this room talking to you.
It's like the call out episode, lighting a fire under everybody's ass.
I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh?
Wait, what? Is
Well,
it actually
I guess
Santa?
There's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
Knew it! Had to be someone else.
What?
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary.
What the fuck does that
But
mean?
an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this.
So what, you just helped coax it
All
along?
I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things?
Don't tell me it's Akane behind me. I will be very upset.
Made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose.
Then what was the
There's
other
another
purpose?
reason you guys were playing the nonary game. To save someone.
To save Connie? We repeated these steps to save Connie this time?
Save someone?
Is Connie a clone? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw... What? What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
Wait, is that like a mental hallucination this entire time?
Oh, my head! My head, it feels like it's gonna pop.
What's going on?
7! What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I just... Oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode!
What was the nonary project?
Did you like die? I guess Zero probably explained it to you, but seriously?
I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For 2 organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact.
Are you saying Connie's a figment of our imagination and she's communicating with us without physical
The
contact?
morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information?
Alright. I mean, yes, I think that this theory holds well in this game series. I don't know if it's true outside of it.
That was what this experiment was conducted to determine.
Okay.
There were 2 separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic.
So basically Q's puzzle solving, I guess, aided in the Gigantic's completion?
The transmitters
I mean, that's
were
the
put
whole
in Building
basis of
Q,
it anyway.
and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, For some reason, she was placed on the gigantic with the receivers, like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't.
Are you telling me that Connie transmitted everything to me? Or, I guess, Junpei this entire time? Or are you talking about me transmitting to myself, which is the red path
How did
to
you
this
know
path?
Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
Okay. Because now we're collaborating the two sides. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the Morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into two branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backwards. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backwards. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about another one either. Information only flows along the path of the river. Okay, so if let's say we're all going down the middle path, but then every decision branches off into, let's say, an A or a B, and the A doesn't give any information to the B path, so the B path has a different experience entirely than the A path. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future, either A or B, and I know what happens on either fork of the river, which allows you to get one collaborative path to create the best outcome of sorts, I guess. Even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. So it's Connie? Connie became 0? Question marks? Where did she go? June. No, Akane. Where did you go?
Santa!
Why is Clover... Oh, shit.
Freeze.
You got a gun on me? Oh, an ace. Oh, because he killed his sister. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun on his head. Sure isn't about to take the gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up with any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door,
what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. What is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still
Damn.
opens.
Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Fuck. Do we have to figure out a puzzle to get out of here? In the incinerator? Or do we just automatically get out if we all put our, I guess, wristbands on the console? Can we even
You mean
make it
we're
with what we
trapped?
have right now? For now, Lotus, we could figure a way out. Gosh, believe in me, woman. God.
So it would seem.
Getting my
The hell is
notebook
Santa
out,
trying to
getting
do?
ready for this shit. He's trying to... Is he trying to start the incinerator, or is he trying to get rid of Ace?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
But why would he do it to us and not Ace included?
No, you can't be serious.
Oh, but he is. Shit, we gotta do something. Maybe we can get out through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright, we could do this. I just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. We're down 1. Santa intentionally took Ace because together we could get out. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure. Why not? I'm not gonna need them. Ever again. She certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Ah. Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. Hey, what? No need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover?
Crazy
Give me that.
girl. She probably wrote down all the solutions. Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Huh. 2, 4, 5, 7. We'd have to leave 8 behind for that?
What?
And there's no other way?
Lotus. Looks like she'd figure it out, though. Oh, it looks like she'd figured it out, though. Man, this is just
It's
too
okay.
cruel.
Go.
Lotus.
No, you have your daughters
You
out
know
there.
we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
If you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Yeah.
Do you like her, 7, perchance?
If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
I'm going to do a quick math question here. It's 9. 7 plus 8 is 15, so no matter what, it's, yeah. It's like we could pull the crazy, Wait then, if Connie's not here, where the hell did her bracelet go? There's so many questions I have. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see her about to cry.
That being said, however,
However,
I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
You think the error would come up again?
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but...
I couldn't see, exactly what happened, but... okay.
I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier, at the red.
He was trying to milk the system by forcing 9 when 9's already been dead.
oh yeah.
No! What is this? Why? The digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that
What,
is
just-
what I said.
What, just open it like a normal human being? Huh, yeah, it wouldn't let us through anyway.
You were right.
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
So then what's the digital route
Think maybe
now?
they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
Shit, if we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high, and there's no way in hell we could get out of that hole Seven popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. So wait, how long are we here? Or, oh, now it's 0? I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, and touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Wait, so does that mean during the summer that Akane was transmitting her thoughts into Junpei? And that their entire little summer tale was really just Junpei by himself? But he was having, I guess, Akane come to him in a spiritual sense? Because you don't see her face back then, but yet you see Akane as an older person later. So it brings me to, I guess, be confused as to what it's all about. I don't know. It seems like there's more questions here that we haven't really gotten to yet. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off in the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resident event melted into him and we became one. Inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind, 9 years ago in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you could think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them, and to determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
Oh my god, there's so many, like, little kids in this. That is definitely, Lotus's, I guess, daughter? Or it's Lotus. It's why she'd be there. But I'm just trying to figure out, all these kids, man. That's definitely, okay, yeah. That was my brother Aoi. He was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Poor kids were running. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got into a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It's been 2 hours since the nonary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello? Everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down and we gathered around
I
him.
have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
Aww. As he spoke, he pulled something out from his pocket. In his hand were 9 four-leaf clovers. Well, that alone would say who Zero is. They were definitely there at that moment, and they definitely had a clover they put into a bookmark to give Clover. So which one of these kids was actually back then and is back here now?
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm
Oh,
sure
man.
I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult.
So you gave everybody a good luck
But
charm?
my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 four-leaf clovers would be appropriate.
What are you gonna do when it's like your 21st birthday? Gonna go find 21 four-leaf clovers? Jeez.
Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way.
This is some motivational speech you got here,
Did
kid.
you know that the leaves on the four-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
So this is like, okay. I mean, this is interesting. Now, I really am actually thinking Lotus was the one from back then. She might have said her daughters, but for all we know, it could have been her and her sister. He gave a clover to each. No, because she's too old, I guess, by age standards, but he gave a clover to each one of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single four-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Don't ever forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with the number 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. So they figured it out. But it's here where it makes no sense. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this door had another number 9 on it, but this time, it was only 1. But if there was only 1 door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors.
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already. You know, this makes me think. But doesn't that thing stop eventually? Because there's a time limit to when you can go in again. I wonder if that would I guess I wouldn't. It was meant to be a sacrifice situation. There was no way that all 9 could get out. Unless the intervention occurs. I mean, I'm trying to think. Why, though? What was the time limit between usage? You go through, they'd have to run all the way up to the dead instantly, I think. And then when they got to the dead, the other group would have to go. And then they could get through. See, but that makes it very difficult. I mean, I don't think the kids would have grasped that, and let alone, what if there was no dead at the top?
Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes.
Can I switch, like... Okay, so I'm in a Kane vision. I can't switch out of it. That's kind of cool to even label it.
Evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening?
You're all gonna die! Or at least some of you.
What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
My brother Aoi swallowed hard and answered.
This room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator. And that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes was filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would
Don't
call
worry,
him
kids.
Seven.
I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like Seven said it did. The four of us who had stayed behind were saved by Seven. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of the door of the 9 door. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother, Aoi, Snake, and Seven. The other children, the ones who'd gone through the door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
That's why you went back? For a present? I knew I had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then I had dropped it as we slid out. I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. I ran to the center hallway, or the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran to the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs in freedom, the door to the incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
How wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
She was probably around the vent at this point. Come with me? Alright, man. Not happening, but I slowly began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
Jeez, there's an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. Kick him in the gonads! What you gotta do, you gotta get a nice swift kick. Right there. But as I was the only child, I was no match for a man like Hungo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then, suddenly, the door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo.
You came back!
I cried out.
Ha!
But then,
You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I was nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the 2 other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran towards the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side. A worried, frightened voice. My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here.
Did he set it up so she could leave if she put in her bracelet? Or was it a lie to make her think that so that she would do it and then fall into a deeper despair? I'm starting to think that there's a lot of questions here. And technically, Akane is saying that she became 0, or less than 0.
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Then it started again.
Warning. Warning. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged. Incineration will begin in...
Oh, wow, I clicked back in?
18
Okay.
minutes.
Well,
Please
fuck.
evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Holy shit. Man, I knew what I was gonna say, but this was one hell of a creepy voice.
I knew it!
It's starting.
Yep, it's really not good for us now.
Santa started the incinerator.
But why?
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
What the hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
Are you talking about me? Was I just spouting off? Or are you talking about Clover?
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise. I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But...
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn!
what kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means.
Well, to kids, they don't know what that means, okay, Lotus? So calm down. It's okay.
Well, God damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
I kind of like the fact that she's like, you figure it out, you asshole.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor. It's moving. What the flippin' fuck? Okay, so this is partial to the zero test. Because this definitely wasn't here before.
What is that? What is
Wait,
that?
this happened both times? What the fuck is going on? What else could I say? The floor opened and the machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least, it kinda did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. Wait. Okay. Now, is this to correct what was done before? Like, are we sending back 9 years to Akane, who is dealing with this 9 years ago? How has Akane been here the entire time? Is this a paradox? What? So we don't know who Zero is. One, we don't know. Zero is somebody we don't know. But Connie is dealing with the same thing we're dealing with right now. It is the same machine. We have to know the answer, but there might be a question it asks back then that we can answer now. Okay. Okay. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me, from the glass drenched in tears. All I can see on the screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Ugh. Man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will begin.
Oh, the alarm.
15 minutes.
Crap, we have less time to figure this out. Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
You're gonna hack your way through this? Hey, we're all tense, lady, but that doesn't mean you get to shove people around.
Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
Okay, so we have to start something. Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Oh. Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though? I have no idea, Clover. It's a puzzle. Obviously, it relates back to Connie and her world, and we have to figure it out together.
What's up?
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
Yeah, and the one looks locked down from here. It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
I think it's what's supposed to enact the final situation here. Alright, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, that goddamn voice again.
Incineration will begin in 13 minutes.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. I'm gonna call this episode here, though, guys, because I believe the puzzle, or the finale of sorts, will kick off, I guess, momentarily. Maybe the next episode. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. This is really getting to a really big, tense moment, so I'm sorry to cut it off like that. I'm gonna check the flowchart just to see where we are. So we still have a good mile to go. I don't know what else is left for us, but hey, got stuff in store. So I hope you guys are ready for the next episode of whatever I make, and be sure to click on the playlist down below to I guess watch this whole series play out. But anyway, until next time, it's Tofuru, signing out.